Picture this. You spent 40 years building your nest egg. You've sacrificed vacations, worked late at night, said no to things you wanted, all to build that retirement dream. And then in one afternoon, with one signature, you make a decision that cuts your retirement income by 30% forever.
And here's what keeps me up at night, Kevin. Most people have no idea they just made that mistake until 5, maybe 10 years later, when it's way too late to fix it.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're here today, Matt. We're going to walk through the 5 biggest retirement mistakes we see people make after 60. And more importantly, how to dodge every single one of them. Because let me tell you, these aren't small oopsies. They are wealth pillars.
So stick with us. By the end of this episode, you'll know more about protecting your retirement than 90% of people walking into retirement right now, and probably a hefty percentage of advisors.
Yeah, right.
All right, Kevin, let's jump into mistake number 1. And honestly, this one breaks my heart because I see it all the time. Someone hits that 62, timer's right around the corner, and they think, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start my Social Security right now. Why wait?
Right. And I get it. You've been paying into the system your whole life and you want your money. But here's the thing most people don't realize. 62 is the earliest you can claim. It's not the age that you should claim.
Yeah, talk about that math real quick, because this is where people's jaws generally drop.
Okay, so let's just say your full retirement age benefit at 67 is $2,400 a month. If you claim at 62, you're getting about $1,680 a month. That's a 30% permanent reduction.
Right, that's permanent. It's not 30% until you hit 67. It's 30% less for the rest of your life.
Right, and I've seen some of these influencers say that, and I'm like, guys, that's not even accurate. So, be careful what you hear. So that's 30% permanent reduction. But here's where it gets interesting. If you wait until 70, that same benefit grows to nearly $3,000 a month.
So we're talking about a $1,300 a month difference every single month for the rest of your life. I mean, Kevin, that's over $15,000 a year. Who out there can't use an extra 15 grand this year?
Good math there, Matt. And if you live to 85, which more and more people are, that's potentially $200,000 in lost income just because you claimed a few years too early.
Now, I know some people are thinking, but what if I don't live that long? Question. But statistically, if you're healthy at 62, there's a really good chance you're making it into your 80s. And if you're married, your claiming decision affects your spouse's survivor benefit too.
Yeah, and I think that's where most people miss right there. That's what they forget. When one spouse passes, the surviving spouse gets the higher of the two benefits. So if you claimed early and reduced your benefit, you might be reducing your spouse's future income too.
So bottom line, don't leave 6 figures on the table just because you're eager to start. Have a strategy.
Yeah, so let's go over mistake number 2. You're staying too aggressive in the market. So you're keeping that same investment strategy that you had. And we see this all the time, don't we, Matt? You're having the same investment strategy at age 40 when you're now 65 and retired.
Yeah, oh man, this one is like actually dangerous because in your 40s, being aggressive makes sense.
Right.
You've got plenty of time to recover from market drops. You have 2 more lost decades that we experienced in the early 2000s. But in retirement, it's a different ball game altogether.
It's completely different. And here's the scary term people need to understand. Sequence of return risk.
And let's break that down for people who maybe haven't heard that term before.
Okay. So imagine you got 2 people who retire with the same exact portfolio. Let's just say it's $1 million. Over the next 20 years, they both average a 7% return. It sounds identical so far, right?
Right.
But here's the catch. One of them experiences a big market crash in years 1 through 5 of retirement, The other person, market crashes happens in say year 15 through 20.
So same average return, different time.
Exactly. And the person who hit the crash early, they can run out of money, get this 10 to 15 years sooner than the person who had the good returns early on.
Wait, so the same average return, but a 15-year difference in how long the money lasts just because one of them retired on a different date?
Yep. Because when the market drops and you're also looking or also taking withdrawals, you're selling assets at a loss just to pay your bills. You never recover those dollars.
So what's the fix? I mean, what should people really be doing differently?
You need to shift from a growth mindset to an income mindset. Doesn't mean stuffing everything into a savings account, but it does mean building in buffers. Maybe a bucket of safe money for the first 5 years of expenses. So if the market tanks, you're not forced to sell at the bottom.
And so it's not about being conservative, it's more about being strategic.
Yeah, exactly right, man.
All right, Kevin, take us into mistake number 3. And this one shocks people when they find out. Ignoring taxes in retirement.
Yeah, this is a big one because everyone goes into retirement thinking, oh, my taxes will be way lower now.
That's what every 401k advisor's ever told me.
Yeah. I'm not working anymore. And then April rolls around and surprise, Uncle Sam still got his hand out.
Right, because it's not about working, it's about income.
That's right.
And in retirement, you've got income coming from all kinds of places.
That's exactly right. If you've got an IRA withdrawals taxed as ordinary income, 401k withdrawals, also taxed, Social Security, up to 85% of that can be taxable depending on your other income. Capital gains from investment, it adds up fast.
And then there's the big one people forget about.
RMDs, required minimum distributions. Now, starting at age 73, the IRS forces you to start pulling money out of your retirement accounts, whether you need it or not.
So let's say someone's sitting on $1 million 401k. What's that RMD look like?
All right, so $1 million 401k at 73, you're looking at roughly $40,000 that year, and it goes up every year. You don't need that money. It pushes you into a higher tax bracket or makes more of your Social Security taxable. You're paying taxes on money you didn't even want.
So what's the play here? I mean, how do people get ahead of this and solve mistake number?
I think it's tax planning before you retire. Things like Roth conversions, strategic withdrawals in your early 60s when you're in a lower tax bracket, coordinating Social Security timing with tax impact. It's a whole chess game out.
Right, and we can also throw in cash value life insurance as part of that strategy too, because when you borrow from your life insurance policy, you don't pay taxes on it.
Right.
And this is why retirement planning isn't just about the money you have. It's more about the money you get to keep.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's go into mistake number 4, understanding healthcare cost. Matt, I don't think people are really ready for this conversation.
I don't think I am either.
Yeah, right.
Nobody out there is. Because everyone thinks, oh, I've got Medicare, I'm covered. Medicare is great, but it doesn't cover everything.
Not even close. Fidelity did a study that said the average couple retiring today is going to spend over $300,000 on health care throughout their retirement.
$300,000. And that's just the average. There's people out there spending way more.
Yeah.
And that's not if someone needs long-term care or gets a serious diagnosis. That's just average care.
That's exactly right. And people forget about things like Medicare premiums, which can be over $200 a month per person, supplemental insurance, prescription drugs, dental, vision, not covered by Medicare, long-term care, definitely not covered.
Right. And here's the kicker. Healthcare inflation runs way higher than regular. So if you're planning your retirement budget and you're using your 3% inflation for everything, you're under planning for medical costs.
Which means healthcare can quietly become your largest retirement expense. Bigger than housing, bigger than travel, bigger than anything else.
So what do people need to do to get ahead of this?
Well, I think, obviously you got to plan for it. You got to budget for it.
So hoping that the costs stay low, that's not a good idea?
Hope
Okay,
is
just
not a
checking.
plan.
Just checking.
Still not a plan. Consider long-term care insurance or setting aside dedicated healthcare fund. Don't assume that Medicare handles it all.
All right, Kevin, we've saved biggest one for last. Mistake number 5, not having an income plan.
This is it. We hear it every time we have a class. Nobody's got a plan. 30 people in class, no one with a plan. This is the one that ties everything together, because here's the thing. Most people spend their entire working life saving for retirement, but nobody teaches them how to live in retirement.
All right, you've got your 401k, you've got your IRA, you've got your Roth IRA, you've maybe got some savings, some investments. And when you wake up on day one of retirement, that paycheck stops. Now what?
Exactly. And this is where people freeze up, because retirement isn't about having money. It's about having income.
Say that again.
Retirement is not about having money. It's about having income. You need a paycheck in retirement, just like you had when you were working. The difference is this time you've got to create it.
You're your own boss.
Exactly.
And that's where that planning comes in.
Right. You need to know, how much income do I need every month, whether it's coming from Social Security, pensions, if you got it, withdrawals, what's guaranteed, what's at risk, how do I make sure that I don't outlive my money?
And a lot of people, Kevin, they kind of just wing it. I mean, they're still hoping. And that's their plan, is I hope this lasts. They pull a little from here, a little from there. We're going to hope this works out.
Yeah, which is really terrifying, right?
Right.
Because once you spend it, it's gone. You can't go back and unretire.
Yeah, so what does a good income plan look like? How much hope should I have in it? 0%,
How much
right?
hope in my income plan?
Hope is the enemy of certainty. You can write that
Exactly.
down.
It's structured. You got guaranteed income to cover your essential expenses, like things like Social Security, pension, should have an annuity, some growth assets for long-term inflation protection, liquid reserves for those emergencies and opportunities, and a withdrawal strategy that's tax efficient and sustainable.
And there is no one size fits all.
Not at all. But the people who have this dialed in, they sleep better. That's a study, in fact. They stress less. That's also in there. They actually enjoy retirement instead of worrying about money every single month.
And those are the folks that end up having those 30, 35, 40-year retirements.
Yeah.
They live into their hundreds because
They're enjoying it.
they're stress-free.
90 years old playing pickleball. All right, so here's the one thing, just one thing we want you to walk away with today. It's this: retirement success is not about how much you've saved. It's about how well you plan the distribution of that money.
Yes, because avoiding these 5 mistakes, claiming Social Security too early, staying too aggressive for too long, ignoring the taxes, underestimating your health care, and not having an income plan, these aren't small tweaks. These can literally add years of financial security to retirement. And I'll bet you a lot of folks are making all 5 of them.
Yeah, and look, we get it. This stuff is really complicated. It's exactly why we do this podcast, to break it down, to make it real, and help you make better decisions.
So here's what we want to know. Which of these 5 mistakes surprised you the most? Or maybe there's one we didn't cover that you're worried about. Drop us a comment, send us a message. We want to hear from you.
And if this episode helped you, do us a favor, hit that like button, follow the show, share this with someone who's getting close to retirement, because the best gift you can give someone is helping them avoid a mistake that could cost them everything.
Life happens fast.
So make sure your retirement plan is ready for it.
And as always, plan life right.